It's great to have you again. Welcome. It's Sports This Morning on your award-winning station, Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
It's always a delight to have you join us in our action-packed world of sports. I'm Austin Okonakpan.
Okay, let's get started with the show. Of course, yesterday we were talking about Golan Salami, and the media officer promised that when there's news about him, they will let us know. Now, the big question is, where is this man?
Golan Salami, that's what we're all waiting for, looking for. The captain of the Super Eagles for the 2016 Chan captain, Golan Salami, where are you? Now leaving Golan Salami to what we know where they are. The Nigerian Football Federation, they are based in Abuja. But the talk is that the Minister for Sports, Barrister Solomon Dalung, says no more drama from the NFF. He has issued a warning to Chris Giwa and other factions that he wants total peace in the Nigerian Football Federation.
Total peace, that's what we crave for Nigerian football. Well, still talking football, but outside our shores, yes, the English Premier League. Well, another stalemate between Leicester and Manchester City, this time at the King Power Stadium. Leicester will finish the season joint top with Arsenal, but the Gunners will stay top based on goal difference. The question now is, can Leicester and Manchester City really go on to challenge the Gunners at the top for the title?
You're already challenging them, because after this goalless draw, it shows that this team is actually a team to take seriously, because everyone, when the season started, they were like, okay, they're just pretenders and all that. You have some teams, especially Spurs most times, to be at the top four. Then towards the end of the season, they just fizzle out. But then being joint top with Arsenal, and if you check the history of the English Premier League, usually any team that gets a finish at the top Christmas Day, and of course towards the end of the season, well, usually the title is always dear. So if you look at that, it tells you that, well, the title might just be between Arsenal and, of course, Leicester City.
I know that's what you want. You're looking forward to that. But I didn't get to see the match, Cecilia, but I watched the highlights of that game. And Leicester City, they were actually, on the forefront. They were looking for that goal, but it didn't come. But I like the sort of confidence that Claudio Ranieri has brought into this Leicester team. Every game, they're getting better. You see, and they don't see themselves as a small team. They're seeing themselves that we were once on top of the table. If we're beating bigger teams, why can't we win the title? And I know football followers like you're waiting to see, because it will just give another twist to the English Premier League should Leicester go on to win the league title. What a story that would be for us.
Well, I think so far it has really, boosted the. What will I use now? Will I say the excitement, or shall I say the credibility
of the league?
Yeah, because
more following.
Don't use credibility, don't use that. It's crazy or unexpected or something.
What I'm just trying to say is that, even the English FA will be delighted to see a team like Leicester City, challenging the big boy, as it were, for the title. We've not had this in so many years in the English Premier League. It's always between the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, and of course Man City. But for Leicester to come,
it's sort of drama.
It's sort of drama.
They brought this season,
and I wish we could be having that, every season. Maybe next season we'll have Watford. Who knows?
But let's just hope by today that they don't burn out of steam, because with the level they're going, and maybe they need to consolidate a little bit more in January.
Exactly.
Put some depth into the squad, because close and open your eyes if some of the top players, such as Jamie Vardy, gets injured, and
big problems.
a lot of problems are going to come for it, because right now they also can't believe the sort of rush happening in their brain.
They're surprised to find themselves where they are, really.
But they're staying focused. That's a good thing.
It's surprising to see that this is the first time they're actually having a goalless draw, goalless game, failing to score. You look at Jamie Vardy that you talked about. He has scored once in his last 5 games. I'm looking at this, you're already burning out. And the coach said the other time against Liverpool that he's been playing with a little fever and all that. And of course, for Mahrez, he says, well, he's a bit tired and all that. Maybe if they had a little break,
you will expect, because those two
and
guys.
they cannot rest them. I think he needs to actually get players in January to see how he can rest these players, one way or the other. Because playing all 38 games this season,
you're not even talking about a certain N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
That guy.
You need to watch it.
You know what's happening to the Leicester team? Everybody's drawing strength from themselves. This guy is looking at how this guy is playing, and this guy is playing. And in the end, when they go to the dressing room, they tell them, you just defeated Chelsea, you just defeated Manchester City, you just defeated Manchester United. And look at the table, they're on top. It gives them more energy, tells them go on, you can do more things. I think it's been a fantastic season for them. And it will get us talking if they eventually not even win the league, make it to the UEFA Champions League. You know, that would be a story for the English Premier League. Okay, but let's leave the EPL and let's come back to Nigeria. I remember when I used to talk about the NFF drama series. That one ran for a while until peace came into the Nigerian Football Federation. But about some time last week, we started hearing this and that, and great parties coming up, and people asking for their mandates and all that. Well, that's not what we want for Nigerian football. We want proper administration. We want peace to reign in the football family. And the Minister for Sports, Barrister Solomon Dalung, that's what he wants also. He has said to the Nigerian Football Federation, no more drama. He issued a warning to Chris Giwa. Remember that name? Yes. Chris Giwa came into the picture again, but the minister says, no, we're going to follow due process. We'll respect the law. The law says this present NFF leadership, they're in charge, and that's what it is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's 14 months, and already Giwa is threatening that he might just occupy the seat, come New Year and all that. I'm looking at, come on, where's all this coming from? I just don't want to make some statement that people wouldn't like, because I'm looking at, like, what's the relationship? Why now?
Why now?
Just let it go. It's been 14 months. I mean, why would he even bring it up at all?
Probably he just discovered something again that...
it doesn't really matter, because, I mean, we've had peace for a long time, and this year we won 3 major titles and all that, talking about the under-17, the under-20, and of course you have the under-23 and
I just
all
hope it has nothing to do with some kind of personality,
it
issues.
just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
Nothing should surprise anyone now with football, with all what we've seen, and even FIFA. Nothing should surprise nobody. But I think in the case of Nigeria, the minister is spot on. And we'll soon see his quote, we'll hear from him, we'll read exactly what he said to Chris Giwa, and of course, all those involved in all of these politics that's going to come out of the Nigerian Football Federation. But guys, what I'm saying is, he's gone back, he's looked at it, and he says, I think the mandate that was stolen. Well, everybody has a right to think the way they want.
14 months after.
Needs to have their
14
own
months
opinion.
is a long time. That's 1 year.
Football has done so well, and that's the election that brought in Amaju Pinnick and the current board we have of the Nigerian Football Federation. That's what everybody knows. That's what the law recognized. That's the president there when he was declared winner of the election. So just in the words of the minister, we should respect the law. But the good thing is, he knows what's going on now, because he shouldn't just take anybody by surprise that somebody is coming up tomorrow to say he's in charge and all of that. But everybody knows in this country that Amaju Pinnick is the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, and they've done very well.
And I recall Amaju Pinnick also, when he came on board, appealing to all warring factions, as it were, to at least, please, let's bury the hatchet. Whatever differences,
exactly.
Let's come together, let's work together. It's for the good of the country. Football, the football family. But a year down the line, it appears that message hasn't really sunk in.
Exactly. I was surprised when Chris Giwa even had to, go table, how do I put it now? Table his own petition, on the minister's table. I was wondering, why will you bring this up all over again? Why not just let it go and see if Nigerian Football Federation can see a way of accommodating him in the federation and all that? I don't really know what they want, because if you really want to, or what this release from the Sport Ministry saying that, reports reaching them is that he wants to, claim the leadership of the NFF and renew the faction, and by New Year he wants to be at the Glass House. And now you look at Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick and the likes, they've not really come out to say anything about this.
Because
we've been getting releases from the minister. I'm like, okay, did the NFF go meet the minister, or was it just the Chris Giwa actually, tabled the whole petition, to him and want him to actually look at what we feel had gone by?
It's just, Cecilia, as I said, this is our politics of football. And as you're wondering what Chris Giwa is looking for at NFF, same thing Ayotune is wondering what Sepp Blatter still wants at FIFA. You're wondering what Sepp Blatter wants at FIFA. After 17
Blatter
years,
loves the game of football. He's contributed so much. Now he's even saying FIFA has abandoned him.
He owns a football club in Nigeria, and Chris Giwa believes
Focus
that
on
he has
it.
a mandate. Yeah, that was stolen. But let's quote the Minister for Youth and Sports in Nigeria, Barrister Solomon Dalung. Let's see what he actually said to Chris Giwa and other warring factions. The minister is straightforward. He wants peace, and he said that it has come to my knowledge. Once again, the good thing is it has come to his knowledge that anarchy is being adopted as a method for addressing grievances in Nigeria Football Federation. And as a peacemaker, he said if there are grievances which have already been brought forward to me by both parties, I should be allowed to look into them and take a decision. Chris Giwa and his group should not take the position brought to my table as a license for anarchy. So it's obvious that they went to the minister and they explained their own part of the story. That look, this happened September the 8th. You know, we won, and September the 8th was the deadline that FIFA gave to.
So as a result of that, you know, he felt okay.
Let me rescue Nigerian football and then relax.
You know, so perhaps based on that, like I've done something to help Nigerian football.
So you guys
now
do your part.
Compensate me as well.
Come on, and it just come on, Kiwa, please, please, just let this thing go. I understand the rule of law. I understand you guys are actually trying to do things legitimately, but for peace to reign, sometimes you just don't need those things.
Okay, you have begged Chris Giwa and his group. You have begged FIFA. Let me beg Platini.